We're witnessing one of the biggest revolutions in golf right now, and I'm talking about torque-free putters. We have seen a slew of them here in 2024, and in 2025, if you're not producing a torque-free putter, I don't know if you should be in the putter manufacturing business, to be quite honest with you, because that is the trend, that is the way everything's going. I know there's people out there that are gonna discount these things and say, it's the India, not the arrow. I get that comment a lot on these videos, but let me tell you, in this case, it's the arrow, because torque-free putters take one very important variable out of the three putting variables that there are. You've got to get the line right. You've got to read the putt. You've got to get the speed right. And thirdly, you've got to square the face at impact. You cannot push or pull it. But if you can take one of those variables away, you're going to make more putts. It's as simple as that. These putters do that. It's not a gimmick, it's not snake oil, and the latest one that I've got here in my hand is the Odyssey Square to Square. I have the Jailbird edition of this putter. There are a couple of different designs in the Square to Square family. I happen to like the look of the Jailbird. I actually played a Jailbird putter about 2 years ago. So on today's video, we're gonna test this one out on course and see what it can do. Well, if you've ever seen a Jailbird, this will be instantly recognizable to you. This design, basically exactly the same, except for one big difference. That shaft coming right out of the center, and when in hand and looking down at this thing at address, it's not coming straight at you either. It's coming at a forward pressed angle like a lot of these torque-free designs. Now, the face of this putter is going to be very familiar as well if you've ever used an Odyssey. We'll talk about the feel here in a little bit. This face, by the way, is an AI face like we saw last year. AI, to me, a bit of a marketing gimmick, I got to be honest with you. But these lines are supposed to give it a nice true roll. We'll see what happens out on course. Interestingly here, there is a cutout so you can see that this is hollow inside. This is not a solid block of metal. There's some stability back here, but it's for the most part hollow there past the face. We'll see how this thing feels, if it's got pop, that sort of thing. In the back, you've got the big square cutout. You've got a couple of tungsten weights there at the toe and at the heel. In terms of shaft options, number of different lengths, I've opted for 35 inches. This grip for me is gonna be a bit of a letdown. Now, this is budget when it comes to torque-free putters, but not a budget putter in any ways. For $300, I think they could have given you a better grip. I just don't like this material. I just don't think they did a great job. It just looks cheap to me, including the font itself. The Square to Square font just looks quick and rushed, like they wanted to catch up to the trend as quickly as possible. The shaft itself is a stroke lab, so that's a nice thing to see. In terms of the head cover, I gotta say again, kind of feels a little cheap and flimsy for my tastes. If I'm spending $300 on a putter, I want something that has a little bit better build quality, but they gotta make money, I guess. And I'll tell you what, I do like that it is a bit oversized. I think that works better as a torque-free design. Now, Odyssey does have a couple of other designs that are available, but this is definitely the one I personally would choose. I'm gonna start off here with a medium distance putt. This is the distance that if you can improve upon as an amateur, you can really drop your scores. This is about a 10-footer, and pros are gonna make these just a little under 50%. Amateurs are gonna make them about 33% of the time. And if you can get a putter that improves that percentage by 5–10%, boom, you're shooting 70s instead of 80s, or you're certainly breaking 90 if you haven't done that. This one's going a little right to left, pretty flat, maybe slightly downhill. Let's see what happens. I give it enough speed. If I gave it more speed, that was definitely online. In fact, I'm gonna have to move that putt in order to hit the next one. I like the looks of this thing at address. I like that it's big. That makes a difference with these torque-free putters, I've noticed. Give it a little bit more there. Missed that one, but puts a good roll on it for sure. Guarantee I make this next one. I got the line and now I know the speed. There's never a doubt. What'd I say about 33%? Well, we're gonna see here today as this goes on, if I can improve that number. We'll try that again here at the end of the episode. So where this one is priced at $299, I think it presents probably the biggest competition for LAB that has come out to date, because most of the other putters are gonna be in the $450, $500 range, and that's basically the price range that LAB is sitting at. Their stock configurations just under 500. Once you start to customize them a little bit, it's gonna often be in the 600 plus range. Now there are gonna be some drawbacks to that as we're gonna explore here today. One of the drawbacks I think is terms of build quality. This one is gonna be more mass produced. It's going to not quite have the same finishing. Is it worth it? We're gonna try to explore that here as we go. All right, next up here is going to be our long putt test. You absolutely cannot 3-putt in golf if you're going to score well. And so we're going to take a few putts here from distance, about 45 feet or so, and make sure that we can get down in 2. All right, this putt moving uphill most of the way, and for the most part, moving your left to right, my right to left. Let's see if we can get the weight of this putt correct. And I don't think I hit it quite enough. Such a soft face here with this one, so you're gonna have to swing it. You're gonna have to swing it. The good thing about swinging it with these torque-free putters is, again, you don't have to worry about the plane of the club so much, because a lot of times when I try to hit a very long putt, I tend to pull them for some reason, just over-rotating, and that doesn't happen with these torque-free ones. It didn't happen there either, but I do have to swing it a little harder here. Did I give it enough there? Still didn't give it enough. Better though. It's definitely on a better line as well. Much more makeable 2-putt there. Last one. That, I think, maybe did I get the speed right? At least I got it to the hole, yeah. All right. Well, might be the one little chink in the armor of this putter, for me at least, is distance control. Hard for me to dial it in there, but let's see if we can convert the 2 putts. This one is about 6 feet, maybe almost 7. Ooh, burned the edge. Okay. All right, well, 2 out of 3 isn't the worst. But like I said, the more you use these putters, the more you're gonna get used to them. So I don't think it's the end of the world, but there may be a little bit more of a learning curve here than with some of the other torque-free designs, at least for me. Everyone's a little bit different. So a few things that I noticed off the bat here with the square-to-square putter is that, first of all, the feel is gonna be very familiar if you've ever used an Odyssey putter in the past. If you ever used the Rossi, if you ever used a 2-ball, if you ever used a White Hot, you're gonna love the feel of this one. It's gonna be very familiar, and that can be a good thing because the shape and design of these putters oftentimes, when you're talking about torque-free putters, is alien. Now, this one, the shape's actually great, but the feel is gonna be really good as well. Now, diving deeper into the shape, man, I love the big footprint of this putter. In fact, with the torque-free putters I've tried, I like them bigger generally. I really like the DF3 size. The DF 2.1 might be a little too big for people, but it instills confidence because that face is so long, it's like you cannot miss the putt. With this one, you've got a nice big face, you've got a nice big profile, nice big body, and couple that with those alignment lines. You got the 3 dots with the stripe pattern. To my eye, it's not going to suit everybody, but to my eye, I really love what I'm seeing there. So a lot of people are going to like the feel. A lot of people are going to like the looks of this one. It's going to instill a lot of confidence. I didn't think I would like this putter looking down at it as much as I do, to be quite honest with you, but I really like it. I like the feel, I like the look of it. It's got good weight. It's really nice. All right, our short putt test is gonna be one I do with every putter. We're gonna go about 4 feet from the hole in a circle. I'm gonna lay out 7 balls. We'll get some different breaks here. Some of these will break right to left, some will break left to right, some will go uphill, some will go downhill. It's gonna give us a chance to read the putt, and if that putter is indeed torque-free, we'll make them. I'll start here. This one's gonna be moving a little right to left, pretty flat. You wanna have a nice loose grip on these putters because you wanna just use your big muscles up here and really let the pendulum swing. When you start to use your arms, your wrist, your hands, that's when this putter will twist or turn. It's not absolute magic. Just use the big muscles, loose grip. That's the best way to use these putters. Again, a little right to left with this one. Nice, firm, confident stroke. This one's gonna be less right to left and a little bit downhill from here. Ooh, did have a little more break than I thought. Now things change. This one's gonna be pretty straight, I think. Yeah. And what I like with this putter is I really do think this one is squaring every single time. And I haven't seen that with every torque-free putter. I'll say that if you've watched all my reviews. Some of these I do think add a little bit of torque to them. This one's doing really good here, at least for my posture, and I'll talk about that here in just a second. This one's fairly straight, I think. Yes, sir. Now these ones are gonna be moving left to right. Ooh, that one I did kind of have a little hand motion I don't think it was the putter. I really think it was the person putting there. Fairly straight. All right, 6 out of 7 ain't bad. Like they said, the one I missed, I think was the person putting, not the putter. This one looks to be very, very well balanced, but it's not gonna be well balanced for every single person. That's the advantage that LAB has. They custom make their putters, and by doing that, some people stand a little bit more upright, some people slouch over a little bit more like Jack Nicklaus. This one, being a mass-produced putter, is gonna be the same lie angle for every single person that buys it off the shelf. There's no way to adjust that. So it works for me. My lie angle is 69 degrees. This one seems to work very well, but I don't think it will work well for everyone. Now again, another thing the Odyssey has that some of the others don't is it's very easy to find these. I picked this off the shelf at the PGA Tour Superstore. You can actually get out and test these ones. You can't do that with some of these other boutique brands, or LAB in particular. Again, you're limited to their stock options off the shelf, but it's just something to consider with the Odyssey. You're kind of gonna get what you get. It works for me. It does seem to be torque free, about as good as I've seen, but it's not gonna work for absolutely everyone. All right, the time has come here. Let's see if we can improve on that average here with our medium putts. We're on a different green. We're gonna have a slightly different break, but let's see if we can convert a little bit better than 33%. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh baby, that's a good start. Oh, I think I started that just on the wrong starting line. Yes, sir. These are just bonus balls at this point. Come on. Yes. One more. I like to end with it going in, and we did that. I'll tell you what, this putter is a darn good one. And at $299, I think a lot of people are gonna put this in the mix when they are searching for a torque-free putter for themselves. This one has absolutely converted me. When I first saw it, I didn't think I was gonna like it very much, pulling it off the rack, but I'm a believer. So I think you gotta put this one in the mix if you are shopping, and I've got a couple of other videos here of some other big time contenders for best torque-free putter of 2024 going into the 2025 season. And I'm gonna have a video here very soon on the channel ranking the best torque-free putters. So do make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that one. And I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.